nothing to. You just go home back and you make your own pita or piece of bread and then hummus. This is how, without less attachment, pleasure, yeah, very stable. Now, if somebody has so much expectation and then attachment towards pita and hummus, then that person will shout to the restaurant, right? I come all the way, but they don't. The people who sell hummus,
Then
they
why
don't.
would you come all the way?
Yeah, this is.
Doesn't it
This-
start before?
yeah,
Why
This-
to come all the way?
this is how we look at it. So we need to live on, and then I forgot to talk about. Maybe I can talk because in the piece of paper when we talk about when you achieve this kind of bodhicitta, then now you have this kind of precious way of thinking, bodhicitta and then compassion and then emptiness. So you have to live, and then you, in order to help yourself and help others, you need to have a precious human body. So that's why we need to. So the first was generosity, right? Generosity. So once you're born in a family, very, very poor family, then it is not possible to do your practice. So we are born in a middle way. So we can drive here and there and take out time from your job, and you can do it. There's so many other people who want to practice, but they have to leave. They have to worry about where tomorrow I have to leave. I have some students, not a student, just friends. So, in not to face this kind of problem, we talk about generosity. And then you have something, then you easy to give to others and to benefit for temporary. Then make connection, and then make a good friend and teach them. Then, in order to have this kind of good practice, and then in the future to be reborn in a good condition as a human, then suiting the ethical contracts, right? Then, in order to make more friends, more students, to benefit others, you need to make a friendship. So, what is the number one to not becoming friends? It's the anger. If you heard he's an angry person, then you try to, ultimately there is distance, right? Short-tempered person. And then, so in order to do that, patience, you need to have patience. So on, all this kind of practice, we need it. So
This is a self-scope practice in the Ten Paramitas?
if you put to benefit of others, then it's the third scope. And it is more to do with your own, then it's a six, right? So 10 is the for Bodhisattvas.
It's only for
Yeah, 10.
For to get enlightenment, it's enough 6?
Fully enlightenment even? Liberation, you are saying.
Yeah, liberation.
Liberation,
Six,
6.
no?
6. So then all this 8, 7, 8, 9, 10 is to get fully enlightenment. So temporary happiness, we need it. There's nothing wrong with it, right? But then we are so focused, we enjoy it very much. And then we don't need, we are not ready to say that's enough. Unless you feel something, this is my real life, and this is for my temporary life, then there's something away, right? Otherwise, every time you might practice a little bit, then you will do so much against the practice a lot, and then it's not balanced. So this is what I'm thinking. It's just my opinion.
So maybe I'm thinking now, thank you for your answer. I'm thinking now maybe my practice could be while I'm enjoying it and I'm not willing to give it up because I don't have, it feels that this is the pleasure I can have now. While experiencing it, to make a point to think about others and to observe which part of it is attachment and see how, by thinking about it, decrease the attachment to this person or to this experience, still enjoying it, but slowly, perhaps think about it. What part is attachment? How much suffering I'll have if I lose it? I know the answer a lot. But to be aware to it and think about it, and maybe slowly, the attachment part will decrease.
I have another idea. Just think about myself enjoying nature, like your question. I have a very nice balcony in my house. I never sit there because I don't have time, but sometimes when I'm there and a beautiful view, the idea of emptiness comes. Like, because it's so open, the sky, and so I think that if we enjoy something and we could not analyze, I mean this is not my way analyzing so much, but just having the idea of this being empty of inherent existence, being something connected to something very open, it can take the act of attachment and help us in understanding emptiness, maybe.
This is one possibility, I think.
Will you think about emptiness while starving?
Yeah, but this is the first suffering. We are talking about the second one, which is different. I don't know if I can think about emptiness when I'm starving.
Because half of the world is now starving.
Yeah.
And we are speaking here about our little beautiful houses and bank accounts. So I'm frustrated from all this.
Yeah, that's why this is a really good question, because that's why Buddha's way of putting these practices, 10, what we call 10 parameters, 10 parameters. So what happens if you end up in, like in Africa, starving place? Yeah. So practicing about the three scope is far away. So just getting one drop of water is the issue there. So that's why from here we giving and taking practice should be starting from now on. We should do it because this is the cause to have receiving some good facilities in next life. So this is why you put first, because it is the biggest problem. And the second one is, even I did something, generosity and everything, maybe I end up in something nice, into a nice family, maybe I will become a dog of theirs, a small pet, which gets plenty of facilities, eating so many varieties of dog biscuits. I mean, you're right. And then go into limousine in the car, just looking into car. But he received this kind of, with one of his past lives, practicing generosity, giving and taking. But he ended up, or she ended up in this kind of situation, in the form of dog, or then other animals. Now then, the form, the reborn in a human is precious, so the ethical context. So this is how Buddha has prepared everything for us, how to maintain our practice. So,
I want, if I may, to say something in response to what Benti said here. I can relate to it when you think about all the suffering in the world. And it comes naturally, almost naturally, that we want to help. I want to help them. Refugees from Africa, from all over the world, in Israel, in Europe, and others. Those who are in real suffering, it comes naturally that I want to help. It comes. But I cannot. I hope that I'm doing what I can, each one individually, whatever we can to help. But my ability is very limited. And I feel that when I practice the Dharma, it's so important for me to think about the benefit of all people, of all sentient beings. So when I have the skillful means, I can do more. Because now, what can I do? Except being frustrated. This is not advance me. This is not.
It arises another question. This I ask you. You spoke about karma, so maybe it's an excuse. They deserve to suffer there because this is their karma. Is it right?
So, half right, half not right, I think. Because to deserve is something quite a big word for me. Nobody is deserved to suffer, I think. To deserve is something that you made this cause and then the result you enjoy it. Then it's like not deserving. The cause you do it because from unknowing. And now the result you are not, there's no pleasure, there's a pain. So, and we cannot just throw like that because it hurts most to our feeling, especially the compassion. Because if there's no way to help them anyway, then why to think about their suffering, right? And there is a possibilities that we are thinking. We are, several times we have born into this kind of situation. But right now here we are talking about something about how to stop the suffering. And this is not only to do it for ourselves. So once we know the method, then we will try our best to teach them. But we cannot just go like, hey, I have known the full enlightenment and just come and listen to my teaching. We can't do it. But this is way how Bodhisattvas make connection with sentient beings. Just giving a small amount of, like a biscuit to him. And then the prayer is, I have given this kind of biscuit to him, and then he takes it, there's sort of pleasure for him, but in the future that this kind of pleasure and the connection we have shared between, that in the near future may I have an opportunity to take him to the right direction, that he does not need to suffer anymore. So then sometimes if we got chance that if somebody come to you and then talks about suffering, then this is the best chance that you can say, nothing to do with three jewels and teaching about refuge, just talk normally about. That's why His Holiness Spirit make divisions in the sutras. Then he talks about, there's something about karma and past and future life. You just put that in the practice of Buddhism. This is nothing to do with other religion and other people. So now, when we talk about Buddhist philosophy, like something about, a little bit about analyzing about meditation, about emptiness, and then compassion and kindness, all this can be part in the Buddhist philosophy. And then how mind works, mental factors that it talks in our Abhidharma. So this we can put it as a Buddhist science. So those two that we can surely benefit others. So this is why. And then His Holiness says, one time when he was opening the conference, the opening speech was something like he stand up automatically, and then he bowed down to the scientists, said, "You are the people who really has an education and who really cares about this world now. I have a great trust in you." Now, sometimes I feel very helpless. Like, for an example, one fish is jumped out or pushed out from the river, and on the sand it is, and then I can do nothing. Just what I can do for the small fish is just put back to the water. That's it. I can't do anything. But now there's a great hope for the so-called people and who has a brain, so human. So now we have a very intelligent brain here. So now there's a great hope that we should talk more and educate people. That's why His Holiness is thinking that there should be some, what we call it, what is this, secular ethics into the education of this modern world. Now this is how His Holiness is thinking of to help everybody in this world, right? So small thing we can do, but then we should never give up, and we should look for more, because our life doesn't stop here. Their life does not stop there. So one time we will be in Africa, and they will be in this what is it, kibbutz, kibbutz camp, and they may be talking about us. This is the life.
I'd like to say two things. One, what is your name?
Betsy.
Betsy. Betsy. One thing about the karma of these people who suffer, it's like the example Rinpoche gave with the fish. It's his karma that he somehow put out of the water, but it's also his karma that somebody found him and puts him back into the water. So maybe our possibility to help sometimes is their karma too. They have the karma to be helped if we can. And yeah, why not? They have both the karma of suffering and the karma to be helped, maybe. But my question is, many times, I always feel that I can do more, but I cannot. Not only because I don't know enough, I don't have the skill for me, it's because I don't have enough energy. And I feel a bit frustrated, and always I cannot know if I decide the right way. And sometimes I have to say no, especially in my work. I'm asked to do this and asked to do this, and then, no, I cannot. And I always hear our teachers say, all our teachers say, simplify your life. This is my excuse not to be too busy, but I don't know if I do the right thing when I say, no, I cannot, I don't have time.
May I say something?
Yeah, maybe
Please.
you have
I would like to relate to the karma question and also yours. In general speaking, when we come to the Dharma teachings, we are not requested to leave at home our common sense. We bring it with us. And what is beneficial for me, how to relate to karma, is when it comes to me, if it helps me, and it helps me, to take responsibility of my life. When something unpleasant happens to me, I can think, not a tragedy, but some difficult person come to me, and I can think, okay, opportunity to develop patience, but also I think this is my karma. So I'm responsible for it, deal with it patiently, or whatever helps me. But it helps me to take responsibility for my experiences. But never I go to another person, I say, this is your karma. I just want to express my compassion, my love, if I can help, my sympathy, to see if I can help him. If not, my ability is limited. But never say, this is your karma, go to study and take responsibility for your life. This is for me to develop my mind. And this is my understanding of applying common sense to the teaching. Simplify our life. Let me know when you find the answer. Yes. Common sense, what to do. We make mistakes. Both me and you.
I never know, at the moment, I don't know the right answer, if I do the right thing or not. I don't know.
But we do what you can. But maybe we can check before the break, maybe we'll put your reflections.
To tell you the truth, I'm suffering right now. I need to go to washroom.
And it's 5 minutes beyond the time, so
So very good discussion, right? In this discussion, we can build our motivation. To solve your own problem is something that you need to analyze, and the most important part, small things that we feel lacking, but then the most important thing is how to deal with your negative emotions, which it can be arise in any moment. So this is our main focus that we should put in. Then once you feel like you put like, I can see some difference from my before knowing this Dharma. Now after a long time I'm learning with these teachers and my friends. So now when you see some result, then build more confidence in it. I do that too, because otherwise you just go like this, then you don't just look back what you were and you are now, and then we might sometimes forget what really helped us. So this is how we build our confidence, right? So you build confidence. There are so many things that His Holiness can do. Even Buddha can do anything. Buddha has achieved full enlightenment, and he has taught so many ways in a tantric, and then he's like a sun, already brightened everything. But then sometimes we are the one it's under the ground.
He can change our
Yeah.
karma.
So this is now we have to come up from the ground and then get the sun, right? So we can do it, we are doing it, and we are doing very well, I think. So this kind of conference in only now maybe happening only one part or two parts of in Israel only. Thinking about all these things, right? So we are doing good job. So can we stop here? My suffering.